This is IMSA, the most exciting sports car racing on the planet, where non-stop traffic, fearless passes and your favourite machines compete at full speed. And fans, you showed up like never before. Attendance across 2025 hit record highs, capped by a completely sold-out Motul Petit Le Mans. This is pure motorsport racing at its pinnacle. IMSA's growing fast as a new wave of fans are discovering what veterans have known for decades. Founded in 1969 and still pushing forward. Move over, IMSA's coming. With manufacturer involvement at an all-time high, producing rivalries that define a season. Ford versus Corvette is back. Porsche and BMW mixing it up as well. Battles that don't just spark tension, they ignite the championship. And looming over it all, Penske Power, a dominant, relentless two-year run. Not to be outdone is Winwood Racing, who just keeps, well, winning. The Mercedes team goes for a third straight title of their own. But 2026 asks the question everyone wants answered. Who can take them down? A new year, new machines, new intensity. Same edge of your seat racing. IMSA, the 2026 season starts now. Hi folks, and welcome to the IMSA WeatherTech SportsCar Championship 2026 season preview. Leigh Diffey with you here along with NBC Sports IMSA experts. Brian Till, Calvin Fish. We'll also hear from Matt Yoakum a little later in the show. 2025 was an incredible season, and we're expecting 2026 to go even beyond that. Cal, what's got you excited?
I love this time of the year, Lee. There's so much excitement, anticipation about the start of a new championship season. Reset for some teams, momentum for others. Who comes out of the gates the strongest and gets their championship campaign off on a solid footing? But Daytona, the speeds here are incredible. These GTP hybrid machines touch 200 miles an hour, twice a lap. Those drivers have to weave their way through 50-plus cars for 24 hours, keep their nose clean. It's fantastic stuff.
We've been around for a little while, mate. We've seen crowds come and go. But the fans in 2025 and the crowds were incredible, especially with Motul Petit Le Mans to cap the season.
Yeah, it was crazy. Record crowds at all the events. I guarantee you in a couple weeks' time, we're going to see tunnels closed at Daytona International Speedway to control traffic in and out in the middle of the night. And like I said, all 2025 was fantastic. You mentioned Petit Le Mans. My hotel was 7 miles from the racetrack. It took over an hour to get there. At one point in time, I thought I was going to have to call to see if somebody could pick me up in a golf cart. And in fact, Matty Campbell, Mathieu Jaminet, the eventual GTP champions for Porsche Penske Motorsport, had to run the last mile to the racetrack in order to get there for morning warm-up.
It's a great part of the IMSA story, IMSA history. This championship was born in 1969. It just gets richer and richer as the years goes on. We want to welcome you new fans who are maybe experiencing this for the first time. And as you'll hear us say a lot this year, move over. IMSA's coming. And you know who else is coming? Porsche Penske Motorsport, Winwood Racing. They are on a roll, going for 3 championships in a row.
Yeah, you look at those two squads, as you mentioned, 2 championships in a row, but 2 very different programs, right? You look at the might of Porsche Penske Motorsport. It is a global organization. Then you go to Winwood Racing, which has grown a lot over the last several years, but it's a family-run operation. But I think they both have the same methodology when they approach their races, and that is dot every I, cross every T, try to be Penske perfect, as we always say, Calvin, and it brings the results. Are they beatable? Yes, but in order to do it, you're going to have to beat them at their own game.
As you would expect with any new beginning of a season, there will be changes, technical changes with the cars. What should we look out for?
Well, I think a big thing is a change on the Michelin tyre. They debuted at the November test for everyone. Certainly some teams were involved in the development of the new tyre. Thumbs up all the way around. The tyre comes to life a lot quicker. That means when we get a pit stop, those drivers are going to be on the attack immediately. That will be fun to look for. But also, particularly in the GTP class, 4 of the camps have got aero changes, predominantly on the Porsche, the BMW and the Cadillac. Significant change. They're trying to sharpen up their aero efficiency. They run dual programs. Remember, a lot of these guys over in the World Endurance Championship, they want to win Le Mans. You need straightaway speed. That'll be good at Daytona. How it will affect it for the rest of the year on some of the high downforce tracks, we'll have to wait and see.
One of the things IMSA's most proud of is the entries, the entry list, where the drivers and teams come from. Have we seen any new teams coming into the series this year?
Yeah, there's always new, and I think that's one of the things exciting exciting about it. And Calvin talked about always this time of year, you're looking forward to it. We did see Aston Martin Thor team last year in the IMSA WeatherTech SportsCar Championship. They debuted at Sebring, though. We did not see him at the Rolex 24, and I am looking forward to hearing that V12 around the Daytona International Speedway. You look at other new teams, John Field and Intersport Racing back after a long hiatus out of the WeatherTech Championship. That's big. Myers-Riley with a GTD Mustang. That's going to be super cool. And then Manti Racing, who is a Porsche powerhouse in GT racing around the world, back with two cars, at least for the Rolex 24 and probably most of the Endurance Championship. I think that's going to be really cool.
OEM involvement in IMSA has never been higher. And heading into this season, one thing is clear. Everybody wants in. The manufacturers are doubling down. The team owners are rolling out their biggest programs yet. And the drivers know this is where the toughest competition and the most advanced technology meet pure, authentic motorsport. So why IMSA? Why now? From the partnerships to the passion to the performance on the track, this series is booming. And the biggest players in the sport are ready to tell us exactly why.
Why do we race in IMSA? The first and most important reason is the fans. The racing's brilliant, the tracks we go to are brilliant.
We've seen in the last few years is a big commitment from manufacturers all over the world. So, you know, the competitors are coming into the sport, and you know, that makes it more exciting. Hollywood are making movies about it, and I think it's just got something special about it.
This is the best form of motorsport that exists right now. You know, battles of technology and car design across all categories.
It's a big family, like John always says, and it's not only a saying. I think it's a proper fact.
The great thing about the IMSA WeatherTech series is that you can come and see the drivers, myself, the team, the cars. You can get right up on them. There's virtually no restriction.
They've got really compelling racing, and the multi-class racing is just exciting to start with. But they've kind of got the balance right between all the classes, so you've got a lot of passing going on, some for position, some just amongst different classes. But that creates a really compelling, exciting show to watch.
Let's start with the racetracks. They are just fascinating, you know, they are tough. I would say the atmosphere, the racing itself, the culture, the strategy.
Endurance racing is in our DNA. And the IMSA Championship, I mean, just provides a great platform. If you look at it, I mean, just in the past years, I mean, we had close racing up to the last lap. We have various manufacturers.
We love racing in IMSA. It gives us a chance to race our production-based Mustang race cars against the best manufacturers in the world on the best racetracks in North America in front of passionate fans.
Plenty more ahead, class-by-class breakdowns, the biggest driver personalities you'll see all season, and the fierce battle for one of racing's ultimate prizes, that coveted Rolex watch at...
Standing at the top of my empire.
Now they're going up against each other for overall honours. Nasser, Porsche win at Long Beach.
Oh, here comes Vantor. Vantor rubbing elbows with Tandy. Tandy sends it. Vantor's off the road. Down to the inside is Aji Baji. The number 6, Matthew Jaminet. Matty Campbell. Whoa. Whoa.
Blomqvist and Colin Brown. Meyer Shank Racing wins the Salem 6 Hours of the Glen.
Taylor on the attack. Whoa. He's in the dirt. He's around.
BMW, Team RLL, they'll take the win at Road America.
From pole position to victory lane, Nick Yellerly and Ringer van der Zande win.
Jack Aiken Whelan, they win at Indianapolis.
And 36 hours of racing in the IMSA WeatherTech series is dominated by Porsche Penske Motorsport. The past 2 seasons, Porsche Penske Motorsport has set the benchmark in IMSA. The number 7 and number 6 cars delivering a powerhouse run, winning races, stacking points, and owning the championship conversation. They have been the team everyone's chased, and the standard everyone is measured against.
15th Sports Car Championship for what started out as Penske Racing.
You go back in time and you look at just overall what Porsche Penske has done championship-wise is unheard of almost, and certainly remarkable.
Yeah, huge accomplishments.
And to think it's been 60 years since he started everything, it's quite phenomenal.
You look back to the years we've been here as well, from when we got the GTP class going, we're probably the most successful team right there.
Different teams over years, different teammates and everything like that. You quickly learn how to approach different scenarios and work with your teammates a lot quicker.
Across all different series that Penske has been involved, they always find a way to execute, to bring the performance, to bring, you know, the whole team to be competitive. And I could feel that from day one. 2026 is not going to be different. We're here to raise that bar again and push for another championship, push for another 24-hour victory here.
As we look beyond Porsche Penske Motorsport, the 2026 GTP season is loaded with other storylines, and our NBC IMSA experts, Brian Till, Calvin Fish, going to break it all down. Cal, let's start with MSR, Meyer Shank Racing. Rolex 24 and championship-winning team came back into the series in 2025. Second half of the season, much better than the first. They really got some momentum.
Well, the Porsche Penske squad has such a stranglehold on the victories to start the year. 4 on the bounce. Who would break through? Well, it was Meyer Shank Racing on the streets of Detroit. The 93 squad, Nick Yellerly, Renger van der Zandt, Renger in typical Renger style, right on the attack, past Ricky Taylor down in turn 1. A brilliant victory. And then they follow up with another win at the Salem 6 Hours of the Glen with a sister car, the 60. But what impressed me more was their sheer speed. They had 4 poles in the second half of the year. And qualifying is so important in GTP. When you look at last year, Lee, the winner came from the top 3 spots on the grid. They also had great speed at the test here at Daytona in November. Really bodes well for a really solid 2026 year.
And with that victory in Detroit, Renger van der Zandt has won at least 1 race every single season since 2014, which is quite remarkable. Brian, he also used to race a Cadillac. So what do we expect from the GM brand this year?
Cadillac's going to be strong, no doubt. You look at the end of the 2025 season, the 31 car won the last 2 rounds, and momentum carries over. That's big, but changes to the car this year as well. So you're going to have a little better drag versus downforce on that car. We know the V8 has the torque off the corner. Hey, you're going to have some young stars in the 31 car, at least for the Rolex 24. Connor Zilic, the NASCAR star, stepping aboard that car, so that's going to be big. But I think one of the most important things is the information sharing between the Cadillac Whelen Engineering Squad and Wayne Taylor Racing. New car, new tire, new Michelin tire for GTP this year, and information is king. The more you have, the better you're going to do. All 3 of those Cadillacs are going to be strong this year.
Big news that broke in the second half of the 2025 season was the end of a 17-year relationship between Team RLL and BMW. So therefore, who's stepping in to take over the reins in the GTP class?
Well, the hot rumor all year was WRT. The Belgian squad would come over here and run these cars as they do in the World Endurance Championship in IMSA as well. That was finally confirmed late summer, Lee. They're an excellent squad, a powerhouse team. They've had so much success, 30-plus championships over a decade and a half over in Europe and on the global stage, predominantly in GT3 competition, but they're really recognized for their strategy and prowess there on pit lane, making the right calls. That's so important in IMSA, as we saw last year, getting to victory lane. But it's not going to be a slam dunk. They ran the cars in the World Endurance Championship, only had 1 podium finish across 2 cars, so they recognize the competition level is high in IMSA. They love the synergy of not only their drivers campaigning in both championships, but now the team is running the cars across both championships as well. They feel that information flow will be a little bit quicker and maybe get them to victory lane a few more times.
As is the case in any new season in IMSA WeatherTech competition, there are some moving, revolving seats. There's some driver changes. 2026 is no different.
No, it's no different. And in fact, if you look at the top class, GTP, your defending GTP champions are not back for the full time. Mathieu Jaminet is gone from Porsche, and Matty Campbell is just here for the endurance round. So that's a big change in GTP. But all through the paddock, I looked at the entry for the test. Over 2/3 of the cars had different driver lineups than they did last year. So it's been kind of like musical chairs, so to speak. But anytime you make those changes, think about it. It's like this in any sport. Quarterback needs to know his receiver. The receiver needs to know the quarterback. The catcher needs to know the pitcher. Those changes come with risk. It's a risk-reward deal for some of these teams and manufacturers. What's going to pay off? Consistency or something new and shiny?
One lineup unchanged is Ross Gunn and Roman DeAngelis in the Aston Martin Valkyrie GTP, which returns for its 2nd IMSA season, carrying high expectations after a thrilling podium to close out 2025. But can the team build on that momentum and challenge at the front all season long? Our own Matt Yoakum caught up with the drivers.
Going into year 2, where do you feel like this team is?
Yeah, I think we're in a lot better position we were than January of last year. Definitely a lot learned, a lot more comfortable as drivers and as well as an orchestrated group within the Heart of Racing, Aston Martin Racing, and a team.
Our feet are firmly planted on the ground, and we're going to be starting the year mentally like we're still learning, but we're very competitive, and come, I'm sure, the last few hours of Daytona, we're going to be hopefully fighting at the front.
What's it mean to both of you guys to be a part of this iconic brand?
Yeah, I think for me, it's pretty much all of my professional career has been with Aston Martin and with the Heart of Racing. It's home for me. It's where, you know, I was kind of given the shot and the opportunity early on.
I'm very grateful that I've had, 10 years. And I want another 10 years. I'm very excited for the future, super grateful to be part of their Valkyrie program. They're super motivated to make sure that going forward we're very successful.
Up next, we break down the GTD Pro class, top-tier GT machinery, world-class drivers and rivalries that will define the season. Don't miss our full preview of the battles to come.
GTD Pro is turned into a heavyweight title fight.
It's the best field ever assembled.
They're so close. This is going to be a slugfest.
We are racing, and the run down to turn one begins. Championship contenders, they're making some early moves.
AO Racing goes to victory lane here at the Sebring 12-hour.
First win in 2025. The number 3 Corvette takes the win at VIR. GTD Pro Ford Multimatic Motorsports are your Rolex 24-hour winners. Big moment for Ford.
Championship winning in the 3 Corvette.
Now Paul Miller Racing. They'll take the win at Petit Le Mans.
You're watching the IMSA WeatherTech SportsCar Championship 2026 season preview show. Time now to talk about the GTD Pro class. Cal, this is going to be super competitive again, but one of the things to look for is that continuation of the Ford-Chevy rivalry. It really amped up last year. Ford got more wins, but Chevy got the title.
They got the title for them. Bit of a championship drought, right? They hadn't won since 2021. They did this championship run on the back of consistency, finally broke through and got that big win at VI, and that was really important. Went into the final round of the championship at Petit Le Mans with just an 18-point lead over the Dragon Speed Ferrari. Had a really solid day. They did what they had to do. That's how they get the job done. But for Ford, 3 wins on the year. Out of the box, big way at the Rolex 24, winning with the 65 car, then 2 follow-up wins with the 64 car with Sevi Prio, Mike Rockenfeller. They've done some tweaks to the aero, the off-season. They're going to come back even stronger this year. Look for that Ford-Chevy rivalry to be reignited here in 2026.
BT, we mentioned earlier in the show, change for Team RLL, no longer in GTP. They're coming to GTD Pro and a change of manufacturer as well.
Yeah, they bring McLaren back to GTD Pro. We haven't seen McLaren here since 2024 with VAP Motorsports. And you look at it and you think about those changes for the team. It's not just about, hey, we're going to go to another class. You've got to change a lot of things. Your engineering staff, if they've been doing strategy based on the fastest car on the racetrack, well, now they're not in the fastest class. That has to change. For the mechanics who've been used to be doing pit stops, this is a different car. The pit stop's going to be different. And ultimately, I think the success is going to be defined by what is the relationship like between the manufacturer and the management of the team. Who's calling the shots in the heat of the moment? Is the manufacturer going to want to have some say, or are they going to let the racers race?
Team RLL, not the only big name making changes. Faf's switching to the brand new Lamborghini Temerario. Matt Yoakum sat down with General Manager Steve Bortolotti to discuss what the change means for their campaign.
When you describe the car, reading the different message boards, fans are all jacked up. They can't wait to see it. So describe just the whole process of getting to know the car and what the fans can expect out of the new machine.
We really want to give it, that Lamborghini flair. We want that aggressiveness. We want the car to stand out and be different. It's about, not what's just successful for the IMSA Championship, but, what do the customers want? When we're trying to help Lamborghini develop a car that they can sell units all around the world to all drivers of different, experience levels and skill sets, that's a different approach you have to take. So that's been really exciting for us as a team, and really helping ensure that this car will be successful in IMSA. And this is a unique championship. It does have unique requirements. We want to ensure that Temerario GT3 is going to be successful in IMSA for hopefully many years to come.
The Lexus number 14 team is rolling into this new season with familiar rhythm. IMSA champions Jack Hawksworth and Ben Barnicoat have the band back together at Vassar Sullivan. Matt gives us a closer look at how this reunited lineup is setting the tone for another strong campaign. Vassar Sullivan will be victorious in GTD Pro. Big day for Lexus and Vassar Sullivan. Anytime you can win at Watkins Glen, it is a great day. Jack Hawksworth, Ben Barnicoat, and this Lexus Vassar Sullivan group are now champions in GTD Pro. Fantastic effort.
Then you guys were split up. Was there something over that year not driving the car together that made you guys better, but also made you miss the situation that you'd had before?
Certainly on my half, you realise what you don't have until it's gone a little bit, like you're in those big races, and obviously I still have fantastic teammates. I think when you're kind of sat watching Jack drive the 12 car, and I've obviously seen many times the end of the race, having Jack does make a big difference against some of the other guys. So yeah, not that I didn't appreciate him. Always knew he did a top job, but I'm extremely excited about being paired back up with him.
We're both really kind of chomping at the bit to get going, and like you said, we had so much success together. We kind of know the recipe, right? Like we've won big races together, we've won the championship together, and bringing the band back together, but an improved version of that band. I think as a race team, we've taken some really big steps to try and put the things together which was so good for us back in 23 and 24, but to enhance it and take us to that next level. So I'm stoked to be driving with Ben again, and also stoked this race team is continuing to push forward, and I don't think we've ever been in a better spot.
The GTD class is tighter than ever, and we're breaking it all down. From the rising challengers to the teams setting the pace. And at the centre of it all, Winwood Racing, chasing an incredible third straight title. Our full GTD class preview is next. Phenomenal. Talk about a comeback.
The championship leader is on the march right now. None of them afraid. Door to door. Big celebration and heartbreak.
GTD, it's going to be Winwood Racing. Welcome back. The GTD class is stacked heading into the upcoming season. New lineups, returning champions, and no shortage of storylines. And Cal, this is arguably the most competitive class.
Well, it's certainly the deepest class, Lee, in terms of numbers. It's always a stacked field here. It's a true melting pot for the OEMs. They want to be here. They want to have success in GTD. But last year, for the 10 races, we saw 8 different winners. 6 different manufacturers had glory. And at the same time, we shut out 2 of our powerhouse teams in this championship. Who would believe that Turner Motorsport, with their BMW, almost won the championship in 24. Not only did they not get to victory lane in 25, they didn't step on the podium, Lee. And then for Vassar Sullivan Lexus, not only did they not win in GTD Pro, they didn't win in GTD. They were winless in 2025. You know that both of those groups are going to come back stronger for this upcoming season.
Brian, who you got your eye on?
Well, I just look at the level of competition in GTD, and personally, I think there's one catalyst, and that is Russell Ward. You look at him not only as a driver, but he manages that program as well. That team has won the big races. They've won the sprint races. They really have kind of raised the game. Think about how quick he was at Road America last year. He qualified on pole in GTD, but he was actually the fastest GT driver of anyone there that weekend. That includes all the pro factory teams. So Russell Ward is the guy who really is the rising tide that I think has lifted all the ships. He has raised the game in GTD, and if you want to compete there, you have to compete with Russell Ward.
Winwood Racing has owned GTD, back-to-back champs and showing no signs of lifting. So how did they build this powerhouse? And can anybody slow them down? Matt Yoakum spoke to co-drivers Russell Ward and Philip Ellis about just that.
Philip Ellis, Russell Ward, do it again.
We're another year where we've managed to keep every single person, that we've, had for the past 2 years, and really those guys a success. And we're not resting on our laurels. We've got a lot of plans this year for how we're going to improve, some new projects we want to start, and running a second car this year is one of them. And then also a new tire has come out this year, which is going to put everybody back to square one. So making sure we can get a nice platform set on the new tire and carry that success like we have in the last two.
This championship it's just consistency. Even if you have a bad race, you just have to be strong throughout the season and have a good all-rounded team, all-rounded car, where you know that over the long run, over the full season, you have a really strong lineup.
When do you start thinking about, hey, I'm going back to Daytona?
I think a lot of the time, especially now, like it's kind of off-season. I mean, Russ and I will be on a call and we'll just be like, hey, we've won this twice already. We've won 2 of the Rolexes. We've done the championship twice. We're in a really good way. And I'd say a lot of people haven't won it once and have tried for years and years.
One thing that we come into the 24 every year is, we kind of have a group meeting and just remind everybody that we know how to win this race. We know how to compete here, and 3 in a row would be incredible. But, we're going to start at Daytona and work our way there. And I know that the other teams are going to be looking at us and really trying to beat us, but it's going to be tough for them.
As you know, IMSA drivers are fierce on the track, but off it? Well, Matt asked the real questions like who drives the rental car, who's stuck navigating, and who's in charge of the music. Here's a look at the road trip dynamics you don't normally see.
Looking at a normal race weekend, riding to dinner, riding to the track, is there a designated driver, designated navigator, or do you switch it up?
Well, there will be many different opinions now.
It's safer for both of us if he's driving. All good.
He just gets a good coffee shop.
I decide he drives.
Jack does get the rental car a lot, but we're all a little scared to get in the passenger seat with him. He's amazing on the track, but not so great on the streets.
The word that I want to use is not appropriate for television, for sure.
I'm slow. I'm just like...
Fred hasn't done many miles.
He's too young. He can't drive. He can't get a rental car, actually. We forget that. He can't get a rental car, so he's always texting us like, hey, can you pick me up from the airport? And we're like, okay, sure, mate.
The one time that I drove him to the track was relying on him to be navigator. No, not happening. Just if we're ever gonna go rallying, you don't want him in the right seat. You want him driving. Maybe I'll be the one with the pace notes. I don't know.
I actually never drive the rental car. It's all him.
Drive the rental car.
I did the music.
I always do the first stint.
So what's the music that you guys go to as your go-to playlist?
It's pretty random, yeah. It's a bit of potluck. I mean, my music taste has been described as eclectic anyway, so I try not to take too much personal offense when the skip button gets hit a few times, but it's all good. You're probably the music guy.
It happens, either me or Philippe usually.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, Philippe, whatever the popular TikTok songs are, Philippe's usually on top of that.
I would say sometimes you split. If it's me, it's country. If it's him, it's definitely not country.
It's a bit of everything.
Yeah, we mix it up.
I would say our car's pretty brutal on the skip button. Someone puts a playlist and everyone's like...
It was actually interesting because especially nowadays with Spotify, you just put the mood. And we were starting going, and we had Norman Nato and going on, and I put what's the mood today? Let's go. And okay, let's go mood. And it's like, oh, this is a nice song. This is a nice song.
That's true. He loved Fleetwood Mac, right?
And he was pumped. So it was interesting.
The LMP2 field is loaded for the new season, and we're breaking down every major contender, plus a special look at one of the greats, a 5-time IMSA champion whose legacy continues to shape the sport. All of that coming up next.
The fight is pretty epic in LMP2. Alvarez getting shoved off. Kind of big issue. Oh, there's a big crash there as they come out of the boom.
The LMP2 class, boy, that has been hotly contested.
We brought that action. More drama in LMP2. Dragon flies across the line in the hands of Dane Cameron. 2 in a row for AO Racing.
AO Racing goes back-to-back with team championships, this time in LMP2.
Leigh Diffey, Brian Till, Calvin Fish with you here for the IMSA WeatherTech SportsCar Championship 2026 season preview show. And we now go to the LMP2 class, which is shaping up to be one of the deepest and most competitive groups. New driver pairings, upgraded programs, and some returning heavyweights mean the fight for the championship is wide open. So, Brian, Cal, how do we see this one playing out?
Well, I think this class has gone from strength to strength over the last few seasons, Lee. The cars are spectacular, high downforce prototypes. These will be the fastest cars through the high-speed corners this year. But when you look at the cars that are being allowed in the championship, there's a variety of mix to that, but everyone's chosen this Orica chassis with the Gibson power plant as well. So that really puts the emphasis on the teams and the drivers to make the difference. Now, the teams continue to work on these cars, even though they've been operating them for many years. But the driver lineup, this is a true Pro-Am category. The AM driver, the bronze-rated driver, makes a true difference. They set the table for the day. They have to qualify the car, start the race, and then turn the reins over to some of these superstars that we see in this class. And boy, do we have some. Ex-Formula One drivers like Sebastian Bourdais, Paul Di Resta, Pietro Fittipaldi, going up against the likes of a now 5-time champ in Dane Cameron. It provides spectacular racing. It's going to be the same in 2026, I feel.
Yeah, and you got to think about LMP2. It has the least number of races of any of the 4 classes on the 2026 calendar, 7 races only, which means every race win is critical and every mistake is even bigger. You can't afford to have a couple of bad races. We saw it last year when championship leader Dan Goldberg had a problem at Road America. Who was there to pick up the pieces? AO Racing, PJ Hyatt, Dane Cameron. They took advantage of that mistake and ultimately they took the championship.
Dane Cameron has done it again, clinching his 5th IMSA championship and doing it behind the wheel of AO Racing's Dragon liveried number 99. Last season's LMP2 title adds to a career defined by versatility, speed, and championships in multiple classes. Matt Yoakum sat down with Dane to discuss his distinguished career.
And are you at a stage in life now where you're able to reflect back on all that you've built in your body of work?
When you're in these early phases, you're always trying to get somewhere, right? It's like, I got to get to this class, or I need to win here. I want to get the work steal. I need to drive for X team or X brand or whatever. I do try to appreciate it now, you know, turned 37 after Petit. You know that the tunnel is closing a little bit at this age. There's still some runway for sure, but trying to make a point of enjoying the vocations we go to, you know, bring my boy if I can. Doesn't last forever, this sport. People are seeing the value in the category. They're seeing that they're really fun cars to drive, embracing that. You don't want to go somewhere that's uncompetitive and has a small car count and it's just, you know, cakewalk. So you want to be pushed to be your best. While we were able to win the championship, you know, having been here also long enough, you can't rest on that. That year is done now. You know, start from scratch. Points are at 0. Starting Daytona.
Social media engagement across IMSA has surged, and no team showcased that better than Dane's own AO Racing squad, with, of course, Rexy and Spike. And that momentum carried straight to the track, where fan support hit new heights, culminating in a sellout at Motul Petit Le Mans. Let's hear from the paddock about this tremendous fan growth.
When you look at Petit Le Mans, it was almost like a massive rock concert at Wembley.
Completely. I've never seen a track so busy.
We almost missed our pre-race meeting because we were queuing for so long. Whilst we were a little bit frustrated, it also says a lot about the direction that our sport is taking.
We love what we do and we can do it if there's no one here, but having people that are passionate about it makes it so much better for us.
But I can tell you, I was one of those guys trying to get to the track on a Saturday morning, and I got into a little bit more trouble than anybody knows about.
It took me a good 10 minutes to get from our pit stand to our car. That's how packed it was. But I was just so happy for everybody involved that this is happening and that there are so many fans, and it's great to see that the fans could actually open the door and jump in the car because that's how close they get.
People want to come and they want to be with their brothers and sisters. They want to be in the BMW corral, the Corvette corral, you know, the Mustang corral. They want to be with the folks that like what they like.
Crazy, like you see just a demographic of people, different ages, you know, men, women, girls, boys, like, just, yeah, it's mad, absolutely mad, but it's awesome.
We're in the golden era of motorsport right now in endurance racing, and it's a proper battle, and I think people love to see that, and because it's so approachable, People are coming to the track and it's sold out every weekend.
Don Panos said, this is for the fans, sports car racing. Because now IMSA has taken it to the next level.
The countdown is on to the 2026 Rolex 24 at Daytona. A full-throttle, day-and-night spectacle unlike anything else in motorsports. The stars, the sound, the chaos, the glory. It's all coming. Our preview of the sport's biggest show is next.
It's the start of the year, the start of the race, and everything is brand new.
This is the Rolex 24 at Daytona, and we're green.
Going into the night is a little bit more eventful because you still have a long way to go. You know that that's usually when all the chaos erupts.
Oh, big hit!
When the fireworks are going off, when you see this go off, you know, it's quite cool. At night, you just feel the impression of speed is higher somehow.
The middle of the night stints are awesome. You're in the rhythm of the race, kind of ticking the hours away.
We're doing this because we love to drive.
I want to be here Sunday morning, exhausted, tired, and waking up with a chance to win the race. Like, that's what fuels us.
Sunrise. It's a very magical moment.
Always exciting and a good feeling to see the sun come up and that you're still in a race car.
This track is very famous for classical finishes. I think that last hour is always spectacular.
These 24-hour races, they kind of choose you as much as you have to do everything right to get the job done.
Cruising through the bus stop and going to the checkers in T1. It's a brilliant feeling.
There's 24 hours of excitement for sure.
Welcome back. The Rolex 24 at Daytona never fails to create unforgettable moments. There's heartbreak, there's joy. Sometimes this race has been decided by hundredths of a second. Brian, Cal, other than your own driving exploits there, what are your some favourite memories?
Well, 2022, Lee, we celebrated the 60th running of the Rolex. What a race it was. Meyershank Racing winning overall, but that battle for the GTD Pro win was unbelievable over the final few hours, particularly the final few laps. It came down to the last lap of the race. Two of Porsche's best going hard at it. Mathieu Jaminet aboard the Pfaff Racing number 9. Then you had the KCMG with Lawrence Van Toor behind the wheel of that. He had no skin in the championship game. He wanted to win a Rolex, put it all on the line. Argy-bargy through the Le Mans chicane. Fantastic battle.
For you, Brian?
Well, I mean, you got a handful of them, right? But we talk about young stars, international stars here at the Rolex 24 on a regular basis. Go back to 2012, you had two terriers, an American Terrier and a Scottish Terrier. That was A.J. Allmendinger and Alan McNish. And they had one heck of a battle, closing hours of the race, side by side, banging wheels at 200 miles an hour. They did not know each other at the time, and they certainly didn't respect each other at the time. But as often happens, after the race, they look back on it, and I think they've become fast friends ever since then. But that was some great racing.
The Rolex 24 at Daytona isn't just a race. It's a global showdown. Stars from every corner of the world descend on Daytona to battle, endure, and shine. Here's what makes this 24-hour marathon the ultimate all-star test.
When you look at the lineup, the teams, the OEMs, is it a great way to describe this event as a global all-star race?
Rolex 24 is just one of those races. It's one of those iconic events. It's got loads of history. You know, all the greats have kind of been here and done it.
I love this place. It's one of the most famous places to come in the motorsport calendar.
It's one of those classics where if you tell you're racing the IMSA Championship, everybody understands, but you say Daytona 24 hours, everybody is like, okay, I know that race.
This is where the world's elite race drivers want to start their racing season at the World Center of Racing for sports car's biggest race here in North America.
You end up meeting people, you know, you meet people from all around the world, and it's just great to see the atmosphere that this race brings.
This field is absolutely stacked with talent, and the pressure is on. You feel that pressure. It is immense, and it is different.
It's one of those big ones. It's the pressure cooker. Our biggest race of the season is day one of the season.
I think that's what makes the Rolex 24 and kind of sports car racing in general so unique, is that we attract guys from all forms of motorsports. So whether it's Formula One, IndyCar, NASCAR, you know, we've got a bit of everything.
You see everyone coming worldwide just to the one biggest race in the US, you know, just for this one weekend. 24 hours of chaos.
Man, if you're in your prime racing automobiles in the North America or the world, you need to be on the racetrack. The true pros, no matter what they do, want to come and race in January.
It's when it's iconic, it's like when there is big drivers, big manufacturers, like in IMSA there are. Again, like Rolex Daytona, it's iconic from so many years, so we just want to be part no matter what.
Time to get out the motorsport crystal ball and see who is going to see success this year. Brian, let's start at the Rolex 24 with the GTD class.
That's easy. 57 Windward squad. Exact same lineup, exact same result.
That's the safe bet, Brian. I'm going to get bold here. Turner Motorsports didn't see a podium in 25. They're going to win the Rolex.
Let's switch it up. Let's go to the GTD Pro class.
Windward Magic continues. They've got that GTD Pro car, the 48. They've got the drivers. They know how to win. They're going to win it in GTD Pro as well.
The Enduro King, Nick Tandy, back in GT competition. Rexy's going to roar, the 77.
Okay, interesting pick. Let's go to the prototype classes, LMP2.
United Autosports with the 22s going back to victory lane, back-to-back victories at Rolex.
In one of the tightest finishes, 2023, the 04 came out just a few thousand shy of a victory. They're going to win it this time.
I remember that one. That was crazy. All right, to the Premier class, GTP at the Rolex 24.
Mike Shank gets more jewelry.
Wow.
He's going to have another Rolex, this time with the 93. He came back into GTP in 2025. They won with both cars. 93 has the advantage.
I'm with you on this one. I think they're going to get it.
Oh, did you see that? They agreed.
We agreed.
All right, so now let's go to the season-long IMSA WeatherTech SportsCar Championship. We'll do the same order. GTD first.
The hat trick is Windward Racing's Toulouse. They're going to win the championship.
And they're so strong here at Daytona as well. Great history. They're going to win it.
You're going to agree with me again?
For the second time.
Is crazy.
My goodness. Yeah. All right, GTD Pro.
I'm going to go out on a limb a little bit. Mustang gets better and better and better. They've got changes. This car is going to be good this year. 64 is taking the championship.
Corvette racing again, but this time the 4. I think Nicky Katzberg, Tom Milner, they're going to have their side of the garage have the success in 2026.
So the Ford versus Chevy rivalry continues. Up to the prototype classes for the season-long championship, LMP2.
Inter-Europole with the 43. Tom Dillman recovered from his injuries from Canadian Tire Motorsport last year. He's going to lead that team to a championship.
Dane Cameron's going to win a 6.
Wow.
99 AO going to double up, win again this year.
He was spectacular in 2025. All right, to the Premier Class Championship for 2026.
So the Acura GTP car has less changes on it than any other car out there. If the 93 squad can make hay in the early season before everybody else gets the handle on their new ride, they're going to win this championship.
Momentum's a big thing. The 31 squad won the final 2 races in 25. They come out of the box strong. New era on the Cadillac as well. I think it'll be really tough for the championship.
They'd love to break the Penske domination, wouldn't they? Well, Brian, Calvin and myself, we're ready. Certainly hope you are. We'll see you for the Rolex 24 at Daytona on the 24th, January 24 at 1:30 p.m. Eastern on NBC and Peacock. Let's get this new season going.
This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of the International Motorsports Association. We would like to thank all of our loyal fans for your continued support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.
Hi folks, Leigh Diffey from NBC Sports. If you enjoyed what you just watched, well, it's time to bring the action and subscribe to the Motorsports on NBC YouTube channel. You can have it all: news, highlights, interviews, and analysis. So go for it.